we are officially live on YouTube
Perfect. And
on
I
our
do,
phones.
I do see it on my end too. So that yeah, we're there's some technical difficulty. This is my first live, so
All right. And
uh,
so we've got Lexa. Lexa's my official mod, and so is Dave. And so we're a little bit delayed. This is interesting. But now, so I usually have a hard time in the software I usually use going back and forth with the chat. But now this is a little bit easier. So, all right. So, Lexa and anybody watching, the reason we're doing it this way is because, hey, Emily, this is so good to see you, is because, all right, I'm just going to tell you that in a minute. This is Todd, and we met because we got chosen for something, which was what the thumbnail showed. And we were both thrilled to death to be chosen. And so we thought that's how we met. We thought we would go live together, talk a little bit about it, and just kind of learn a little bit about each other with you all. So there you go. So, Todd, you want to announce what it is that we got chosen for?
sure. So, and I'd love to hear your take on when you got the actual email. I know I can put in from my perspective when I got the email from YouTube inviting me into this little creator community type of thing within YouTube. I'll be honest, I thought it was like a phishing email. I thought it was like there's no way that like somebody at YouTube has noticed me at a relatively like small channel and everything like that. There's no way that they're watching me. And that's what it was. They reached out to people like you, people like myself, and they invited us into they essentially like YouTube sees something within us as far as like like they see that we at least have like potential like moving forward. And so it was just one of those things, and it's been a great opportunity for me to meet people such as yourself and just kind of like learn more about like the internal processes of YouTube from kind of like within, as opposed to being like an outsider posting videos to the internet hoping people like them. I mean, that's still important to me, but to be chosen to be in this group by YouTube was very affirming to me, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah, and I felt the same way. I thought, "Oh my gosh, like, who am I to have been chosen for this thing when a lot of my friends have so many more subscribers than me?" I don't know. I don't know what it is. I will tell you though, if you're watching and you're a YouTuber, this does not propel you into YouTube success. Not what
100%
happens.
agree.
In fact, a lot of us have had our views go down since we were chosen.
Right.
And so I put jokingly, I put a thing in there saying, maybe it's some kind of Hunger Games scenario where, it's like, join together and whatever. I don't know. And so I thought it would be nice to reach out because I really think that is part of it, is that they're trying to see what are we going to do if given this opportunity, but we don't know what the opportunity is yet. It's weird. I don't know.
Right. And that's exactly how I felt. It's like they've put us all into this little group. And I mean, I have teenage kids, so I had to go to them to show me how to do stuff. Like I didn't know what Discord was. I make trucking content usually in like a semi truck. And so like when they said like join our Discord group, I had no idea what they were even talking about. My 13-year-old son had to break down Discord for me. And like he set up my whole profile on there. Just like, I know how to make movies. I know how to edit movies. But I don't know how to reach people through other ways of like texting and email and that type of stuff. So Discord was new to me, and yeah, the group's just been it's been very eye opening for me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so my 15-year-old was like, "Are you kidding me that you're gonna have a Discord?" And I'm not gonna lie, I had to ask some people. Colin and American Courts, both of them helped me so much. If they're watching in here, they both have channels, and they were very, very essential in my getting going. Because yeah, I didn't know. My kids are mortified. How do your kids feel about it?
I think of like if because I mean like we grew up in a time where there was no internet, and I think of like what would I have done if 13-year-old Todd had his dad come home and say, son, I'm going to tell stories on the internet for everybody to watch. I would have died. My kids have actually kind of taken it in stride. I mean, they're happy for me. They see me kind of like achieving these little milestones along the way, and they're very supportive. They've made it clear they don't want to be in any of my videos, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I don't ever show up with the camera and put it in their face. It's all like me, my truck, my dog. But yeah, they've been great with it. How about your kids?
They're mortified. Yeah, they don't want anything to do with it. But I've been really, since they were little, I've been very anti having them on any kind of a social or online. And so I pounded that into their heads so much that they're like, clearly you're not having us on. And so, although my daughter does have a YouTube channel that she doesn't show her face on, and my son has a podcast. So they're out there, but they're not out there on their face. And they don't want anything. Although my son used to do the intro to my podcast when he had his
Okay.
little baby voice. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. But he
Yeah.
wasn't on camera. Yeah. And so we did a magazine photo shoot yesterday, and so they are gonna be out there a little bit, but they're not gonna be on the cover because they didn't want to be that far out.
Sure.
So yeah. But yeah, so why don't you, since this is my channel and everyone knows me here, why don't you tell about how you started your thing and what you do in general? Because it's
Sure.
fascinating to me.
Sure. So, I kind of late in life, mid 40s, decided. I actually went to college. I was a pharmacist for like 20 years, and
I didn't know that.
enjoyed it. Oh yeah. No, I went to. I actually have a degree and all that stuff, and I just kind of got super burnout with pharmacy. It was a well paying job, but it wasn't a rewarding job at all. And I had always had this like dream inside to. I always loved big trucks, and I kind of, it's something I thought about doing when I was a kid, and but I kind of listened to society and was like, oh, you want a happy life, go to school, go to college, do that, and I did that. I did that for 20 years, and I just kind of grew tired of it, and I started looking at, like, what's another way that I could make money, and kind of like chase my dream, which was owning a semi truck. And it's weird when you're a pharmacist and you go tell your friends, colleagues, whatever, you're like, I want to be a trucker. They're kind of like, really? Are you sure? And anyway, I love it. I was willing to change into this career. I was willing to like have a happier life and take a pay cut. The blessing in disguise has actually been, I don't say this to brag. I actually make more as an owner operator trucker than I did as a pharmacist, which is crazy. I wrap my mind around that all the time. It's just like I can't believe it, and I love it so much. I started a YouTube channel about it, just kind of showing people like, hey, it's never too late in life to make a career change. I'm having a ton of fun with it, and it doesn't. I mean, I don't want to make the truckers mad and say that trucking's easy. It's not, but compared to what I was doing before, I mean, I wake up every day and I feel like I'm living somebody else's life.
That's so cool. That is just so cool. Yeah, I had no idea that you were a pharmacist, and, yeah, we had neighbors when we lived in Tennessee that had a few trucks, and
Hmm.
they did very well. Yeah, they really, I mean, and you've got some downtime. That's what you were
Right.
saying earlier.
Right, and
So that's perfect.
that's where I try to like focus my kind of whatever YouTube energy I have. That's where I try to focus that into, because there's a lot of times where I'm sitting at a dock door waiting for 4 hours for a trailer to get loaded, and it's like, well, am I gonna play video games, or could I turn out a video? Could I turn out a decent video about something right now? And so that's where I do like a lot of my editing, a lot of my recording, that type of stuff, because there is a lot of downtime in trucking.
That is so cool. So I don't know, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. They were asking me what I wanted to be when I was a kid. I was being interviewed on a podcast, and so it was interesting because he said, "In 3rd grade, what did you wanna be?" And I said, "Well, I wanted to be 2 things. One was a psychiatrist," and I ended up going to college my major was psychiatry and my minor was philosophy, which means I overthink absolutely everything. But the second thing I wanted to be a trucker. I wanted to have a Mack truck specifically,
Right.
um, all throughout my childhood because BJ and the Bear was popular when I was a kid,
Sure.
and he had a
Sure.
monkey. So and so you have your truck and you got the dog, which is, close, but
Right.
they made it seem like such a cool thing, you know? You just had this freedom and you could drive around and I don't know. So
That's
people
how
that
I
know me
feel.
now probably don't picture it, but was a dream.
Right. Yeah. There's compared to my last job, this is the freedom in this is like, I mean, my last job, I've showed up to a schedule that somebody else has picked to me for the last. I mean, I was a pharmacist for 20 years, but for 30 years, I was an employee somewhere. And now it's like I wake up every day and it's like I get to choose what work I do, and it's just kind of like, oh, should I take today off? Should I do, and it's been incredible for me. I'm one of those people. I don't have a ton of regrets, but I wish I had found it sooner.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so if you've just joined us, this is Todd. He's from Stat Trucking. He and I were both chosen for the YouTube Shorts Creator program specifically. And he's sharing his story about how he used to be a pharmacist and now he drives a truck. And it is fascinating because, and I'll repeat what you said, he makes more money driving a truck than he did as a pharmacist. And He's very happy doing it, which is, I mean, that's a secret right there, right? So Dave's asking, are you local or over the road?
I was going to tell you, I do see the comments show up on my
Oh,
end.
okay, good.
For the most part, I am local. I do a ton of work with Amazon actually, and I'm not the guy who shows up at your house. I'm kind of the middle mile guy, taking the trailer from here to there. And with Amazon, I stay pretty much within like 250 miles of my house. I'm basically home every night, get to sleep in my bed every night. But it's like if their loads are paying all right, I'll go out and work for them.
Very
Occasionally, I'll
cool.
do those little those longer trips, those OTR trips, but I kind of do. I try to line them up with things that I want to go do. Like, hey, there's a good load going to Texas. I have family in Texas. Let's kill two birds.
So can you bring your kids and family with you when you do that?
I can, but and I do have a sleeper truck, but there's really only one comfortable bed for like one person. So the top bed in the bunk is not comfortable, and I don't think the kids would be down for that. I do take my dog with me everywhere though.
Well, that's cool. All right. Yeah, right, Lexa, to just be happy at work and do what you want to do. So what kind of content are you creating for YouTube?
So I made a commitment to my
Thanks, Dave.
audience, and as far as like one of the things that, like, if you were to ask, like, what's one thing that I feel like I've done okay at, I tried to commit to my audience originally that I would produce one long form content video a week, and I've stuck with that for the last 2.5 years. And in those videos, I kind of, I'll take you through like a day. I do kind of typecasted myself into making a lot of content about Amazon, just because that's like, it seems like a lot of people struggle with that. And it's like, I kind of understand. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I feel like I understand their system. So my channel's kind of evolved into like the niche kind of picked me, and people ask me a lot of Amazon questions. So I make a lot of Amazon trucking videos. It's not necessarily, when I started this thing, I never thought like I'm going to have a channel all about Amazon trucking, but that's kind of what it's evolved into.
Well, that's awesome though. Okay, so what is specifically different about Amazon?
There's so Amazon has, I mean, I know people, and I don't want to say anything disparaging about people who don't mesh with Amazon, but there's Amazon has a lot of little rules, like a lot of little, like, you can show up to Amazon a minute late and it's going to affect your money that you're going to potentially make over the next 6 weeks, only to get in there a minute late and to find out that the trailer's not even ready for an hour and a half. Some people don't like that. I understand where they're coming from. I'm not in love with Amazon, but if you know how to work their system, it can work for you.
Well, that's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, and it's interesting what you said about, you do a couple of things and then people really like it, and then that's kind of where you go, right?
Right,
Because we want to do the content that people like. So, yeah,
right.
it's interesting.
And if
And
I
so,
followed,
oh
oh,
no, go
sorry, go ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say, if I followed that, I would stop. I would take myself out of the content, and I would just make bulldog content, because the dog's more popular than I am. So it just, I know my place on the channel.
That's funny. Well, yeah, yeah. And if you do more, because I saw you have some dog content, but yeah, if you do any more frequently, you will
Right?
probably become a dog channel. Although that may be your million sub idea.
Who knows?
Your dog could have a separate channel. That would be
Right,
interesting.
right.
Oh, will you tell everyone what you do though? Because I thought it was brilliant how you get your dog content. I like that.
Oh, so I have a 360 camera, a GoPro or Insta would work the same, and I just attach it to a car visor in my car. And when I leave the dog for, say, I'm going to run into 7-Eleven for 2 minutes, I just record it, and then I come down and I isolate out the clips. And he usually, I mean, it pains me to watch, but he has pretty good separation anxiety, so he'll kind of go nuts. And ironically, those have been some of my most popular videos, even though, like, I hate to seem like I'm showcasing that, just because it's like I know he has a problem and I want him to get better at it. But it is, a lot of people like think it's fun. So I'm
Yeah. Oh my gosh, our dogs have horrible separation anxiety, and I'm going to take your idea and try it just for kicks,
you
because I can't imagine. I don't even know what they do. My little 3-pound dog, I have a little teacup poodle, and she's figured out how to jump on a chair and then get on the table, but then she can't get off of the table, so she cries. And so maybe that's where I'll set the camera.
sure.
See if she does something crazy in the kitchen. Oh my gosh.
I
I
just
don't
threw
know.
one up one day just on a whim, and it was, and again, I don't want to misrepresent my channel. It's, like 4,000 subscribers, nothing crazy. I'm not like millions. I'm not hundreds of thousands. I'm less than 10. And I put it on there, and it was like a normal short or a normal video of mine will get like 500 to 1,000 views. It went up to like 30,000 views in a couple of days, and it was like, you got to be kidding me! If this is what you want, this is what I'll give you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, everybody likes the dogs. Well, there's a girl in the creator program, she's got over 1,000,000 subscribers, and it's all about her cats.
Right,
It's just
right.
all cats, you know? And so, yeah, people like animals. But, well, things are stressful out there. I think whatever we can do to help just help people relax. I don't know.
Sure.
So, if anybody has any like trucking questions or YouTube creator questions or I don't know, dog questions, just feel free to ask because we're just chatting. So we just met in the Discord for the YouTube creator thing, and we're just kind of getting to know each other because we want to collaborate. And there's not a lot of people that are wanting to collaborate. And so even though we have totally different audiences and content, we thought, you know what, we're going to just go live and talk to you guys and tell you about what we're doing and see where it goes. So that's what we're doing
Right.
today. It's a little bit different, but I think that's okay because yeah.
And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this. I mean, this was lives are something I don't ever do. This is my first, so you're. I'll always remember this. I mean, this is just one of those things. But yeah, I have a question for you. What would you
Okay.
say is like the most important thing that you've learned from being in the Discord group?
That I need to do trends more.
Trends. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what everyone's doing. Everyone's doing whatever the trends are, and I'm not absolutely. So yeah, I need to get on that. And so I have not been doing that. Oh, there's questions for you.
American
Oh,
Quartz wants to know what kind of trucking, what region, semi truck, and I work primarily out of Southern California. I live in San Diego, so most of my stuff is here, like locally. Like if you drew a line from here to LA to Ontario and drew a circle around that, I stay in that little area most of the time.
okay. Very cool. Oh yeah, I create the trends. There you go. I wish. That would be so wonderful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah, I got to do 2 face reveals on my live, and so American Quartz who's here, I got to reveal his face, which was fun, and I rewatched it the other day, and I realized I didn't even announce you, American Quartz. I was just like, "Here he is," and I didn't even ever say who the channel was, and that was yeah, well, you get excited about things, I don't know. So, yeah, but going live it's a different beast because there's no editing. There's no I'll just cut that and we'll start over. And also getting started, you guys, I got to tell you. So we're doing this from YouTube this time and not from Wave because and I'll just say when Todd went to go sign into Wave, it wanted him to sign away things that we didn't I didn't realize that I had to sign away like they can take away your comments and your content and like wipe everything out of YouTube. So obviously he's like, I don't think I want to do that. And I don't either. So I'm going to go from YouTube or somewhere else. Um, yeah, right. It's a good thing that I found out when I did. So I'm going to unlink them. And so hopefully I didn't sign anybody else up for that yet. That's had to sign over that thing.
I
So
think
if you
this.
guys,
I think the safe bet on that would be to unlink it and then change your Google password like immediately. Just because I mean, you hear people losing their YouTube channel, and it's like, I mean, I would be devastated if that happened to me.
yeah, well, yeah, right. Because this is yeah, because I have put up since March 3 to 4 shorts every single day, and if I have 535 or something videos up there. If I lost that, it would be horrifying because we had a little glitch with the computer, and it could be that, everything isn't saved. So, yeah,
Right, right.
American Courts. So, American Courts, sadly, was hacked, and so he has about, what, almost 150,000 subs right now, and, just it was just a couple weeks ago, someone hacked him and took everything over and completely changed the content over within what, like 2 hours. It was
Oh my gosh!
awful, and so it was all of us were scrambling to try to contact you 154,000,
Wow,
thank you. It is over 50
wow. American
150.
courts.
Since January, he just started it in January. It's crazy. And so, yeah, it was horrifying. So, but he got it back. He worked really hard and tried not to be stressed.
Is there
Yeah,
any recourse? So for American courts, is there any recourse you have like with YouTube to say like, hey, this happened? Can you go back to like an old version of my channel, or do they just tell you there's nothing they can do? I'm just curious.
yeah. So they did. He ended
Oh,
up getting it back.
okay.
So he had to do all these things and jump through all these hoops and prove that he was him. and it took can you put in the chat how long it took? I think it was like 3 or 4 days, though, and the first couple of days, they're like, "Meh, well, we'll see what happens." And it was yeah, I can't imagine. And there was a lot of subs then, I can't even imagine. Twitter, YouTube was the only answer. Wow. 48 hours.
Wow.
Okay, it was 48
Wow.
hours. But still, like, to have over 100,000 subscribers and think, "Well, I might just have to start all completely over," I just
There's no
cannot,
way. I couldn't do it. I mean,
right?
it's almost embarrassing to admit this, but like 2.5 years into this YouTube channel, learning how to edit, learning how to do everything, I've probably put more time into my YouTube channel than I did in getting my pharmacy degree. And like that, like I could say that without blinking an eye. I mean, there's been so much learning on my end as far as like how to do this, and then to find out that was just all taken from you, I would be sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and it's funny because so I started blogging 10 years ago when it was a thing, like, it's not a thing. Then I started podcasting 7 years ago, and so I've been out in the creator space for a really long time, just really started YouTube as an accident in March when I did my shower thoughts, but I've learned, same thing. When Dave would sleep, I would be up at night learning. And so he didn't know that I was up until 2 or 3 in the morning because I would get up when he went to sleep and I would, work for 4 or 5 hours and I'd go back to bed. And so it was funny because I've learned a lot in this 10 years of
Right,
webinars and things. And I mean, so much YouTube. If I could get paid for the YouTube I watched, I'd be a millionaire by now, because
right,
that's where you learn. But it was funny because I was teaching a class at a local thing, I was the speaker at the thing, and Dave's like, how do they think we know so much? Like, I don't understand what is it, And then he heard me talk and he's like, how do you know so much?
right.
Because you just pick it up because, but in all that time I've learned about a whole bunch of different things and it is nice, but you don't really, I don't know, where do you use it outside your own thing, I guess. But,
Right.
you know, so I've
And
been
that's
trying to
why I
help
was
people.
so glad that you and I were able to meet because it's like, I don't have anybody in my life that I can talk to about YouTube stuff other than you. Like, I have the group that's kind of like there's an anonymity with that, and then but like you
Yeah.
are actually like a person that I can get on the phone and talk to, and it's cool to be able to kind of say like, hey, have you tried this? Have you done that? Because nobody really understands doing YouTube unless somebody else is doing YouTube, and it's kind of like it's that's I'm appreciative of that.
Well, it's also well, we're gonna get you into my Discord because we've got American Courts in my Discord. We got a few other YouTubers in there, and there will be more than happy to talk to you. So you'll have a group of people now. They all do court content, but that's okay because what we do is similar. I mean, we're all YouTubers. So,
Sure,
but yeah, but they're really cool, and you're gonna like it. So you just met a bunch of new friends tonight by doing this. So that's
I'm
awesome.
excited.
Yeah, it'll be good. And I know American Courts knows a thing or two about trucks. So, yeah, you won't be the only person doing that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have, who else is here today? Oh, wait, he said something. The beauty of Discord. Exactly. Because, you can connect with all these people that you didn't even know were out there doing the things. Um,
Sure.
yeah, YouTube is fun learning American Courts. I have to say it is, but oh my goodness. Interstate
Interstate
8.
8 to Yuma. Yep, that's I love running that road. That's one of my favorite. Coming back with a heavy trailer isn't too much fun. Coming back out of like Ocotillo, but yeah, I love that drive.
Oh my gosh, Dave, if you want to get on, you can come in here and you can tell your story about driving because I think that would be an interesting story to tell about driving across the country. So, because Dave and his brother rented a big truck and drove across the country for someone that then did not fund, yeah, the trip home. And it was a whole thing. And they had, I don't know, like 24 hours to get it. I don't know. It was a whole thing. But I won't tell his story. He can do it. Anyway, Dave, if you want to come in here and, share it, you can. But so Todd, what do you have a story, like a trucking story that you can share that was funny or interesting or
God, there's been a lot. There's I mean, just hanging out with the dog all the time. There's most of my stories go to like bad places, just because it's like the good times aren't really that memorable. It's the bad times that stick out in my memory. I mean, even though I'm an optimist, I kind of think back of like the time that like I blew an airbag and the truck was like leaning and I had to overpay to get that fixed in the middle of the night. That's what my mind goes to. I'm trying to think of if I have a happy trucking story.
oh, that's
Um,
okay. You can tell that story. Okay, you started that one.
right?
So
Yeah.
your truck
Well,
was halfway over?
so the truck's sit up on airbags. It's not like they don't have like springs. That it's all air. Everything in the truck is air controlled. And so I had blown an airbag, and so the truck like kind of looked like it was leaning back to the back. And I couldn't haul a trailer, but I had a trailer that I needed to take. So you have to hire one of these. If you ever see a semi truck on the side of the road, and you see like a service truck sitting next to it, and if that person owns the truck, just know that they're bleeding cash, because that's exactly, I mean, if I took this to my mechanic to fix, it probably would have been about 125 $150, but because I needed somebody to bring me one on a freeway, it was like $500, and they want the cash up front because they get burned from people who are in my industry who don't pay them. So it's like, they'll take everything apart and then be like, give me the cash, otherwise I'm not going to put it back together. And it's kind of like you're held hostage. I mean, I know I'm making trucking sounding bad, but it's the nature of the beast. It's stuff like that.
Well, I don't think
I
you're
mean,
making it sound bad. I think, there's just people out there that take advantage.
sure. Oh yeah, and on both sides. I'm not trying to say every trucker's perfect. I mean, you go to a truck stop and you start looking around at the trash and the stuff that's left, and it's like, yeah, no wonder people don't want us here. I get it, but yeah, it's that's probably the stuff that comes to my mind are like the bad times. The good times, I mean, there's so many good times that it's just driving down the road with my dog, and it's just like I can't get stressed out because it's like I got this beautiful little dog next to me. I can take him for a walk whenever I want. I can pull over, do whatever I want. And it's like this is my work now. This is what I do.
That is so cool. It's just really cool. And I don't know, I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the fact that you were a pharmacist and then you decided to do this. And I could just imagine the way everybody reacted. Now,
Oh,
are
big
you
time.
married? Then we haven't
I
had
am.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No,
So what
I
does your
am.
wife think about this? Was she,
She supported me 100%. I think she knew how kind of miserable I was becoming with pharmacy. It just wasn't happening anymore. It literally was just like show up. I felt like I was Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. It's like I get to work and somebody comes in and argues to me that their Xanax is too soon and they want to fill it now and we can't. And it's like I've met that person 2,000 times in my life. They're different people every time, but I've met that person. Then it's like I get to lunch and find out that like I punched out for lunch 10 minutes after my fifth hour, and now there's a lunch penalty and all this stuff. And it's like I can't do this anymore. This is I mean it I saw a meme the other day that hit me. It's like, don't ever take a job where you have the responsibility and not the authority. And that's pharmacy for me. It was
yeah.
one of those little memes that hit me hard. It's like, okay, I had the responsibility, but not the authority, and that's how I see it.
Wow. That's pretty profound, actually. You know that? I mean, I think
Right,
that's for everything, right? Oh my
right.
gosh.
That was one of those things that just hit me though, and it was like, dang, I spent 20 years of my life with that job, and it's like, yeah, and now I mean, it's like I mean, my skill set is you can bring me like a list of medications, different pharmacies, different doctors, and I can go through that, and I can tell you like this is going to be a problem. We need to look out for this. That's what I'm trained to do, and that's kind of rewarding. But like owning my own company and driving a truck around is far more rewarding to me than that.
Yeah. Oh, Joshua says, yeah, that's awesome. It is. Yeah, me too. And what's cool is, I feel like people have an idea of a truck driver. Like, I don't know, you just this
Oh
idea,
yeah,
right?
sure,
And so this is good because you're just breaking that stereotype, right?
right,
Like you
right.
got a hat on and you got the plaid shirt on, and then people are like, "Oh, yeah." But then you open your mouth and they're like, "Oh, wait, he's very articulate. He's, whatever." And I think that there's a lot of people driving trucks that people don't realize um, they've got a similar backstory.
Sure, sure. I mean, I've met some very smart people. A buddy of mine's a helicopter pilot in Iowa, and he drives a truck on the side. And nobody, I mean, to talk to this guy, and again, I have those same things in my mind of like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to talk to a trucker, and it's like, not this guy. This guy, I mean, I try to sound like I'm smart in the room. This guy is the smartest guy in the room, and it's like it just you wouldn't even but you think trucker, and it's like, oh, stupid trucker, and it's like, all right, cool, well, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Think what you want. It is what it is. Yeah. So that's awesome. All right. So do you guys have any questions for anybody? I don't know. So I was thinking for those of you that are in the chat, because you're mostly people that come to my channel. So, we've been interviewing lots of different people. Oh, Dave, you are so sweet. Oh, Colin. Yay, Colin. I don't know if you heard me. I was talking about you and saying how much you were helping when I first got started and how much you're going to be helping to Todd because Todd has been a YouTuber for 2.5 years and doesn't have YouTuber friends, and I think that is so important. I really do. I mean, it has helped me so much. In fact, Colin, when I went up to Ohio to go see my niece's wedding, and he lives up there, and so I got the chance to go up and actually meet him in person, and it was really cool because he was the first YouTuber that talked to me when I was first starting, and, he has a lot more subscribers than me, so I was like, "Ah," and yeah, it was really cool. So, anyway, everybody is everyone in this group is really nice, so that's nice. But
Fantastic.
anyway, yeah, but I was thinking, so, we've interviewed a lot of judges and legislators, and I'm still gonna do that because that is fascinating and it's interesting, but I also wanna start, if you guys have not noticed, bringing some other people in and just kinda shaking it up a little bit and keeping it interesting because I know you guys watch court and you love court and court is great, but also, I don't know, just, you know, meeting some new people, learning some new things, and I think that quote needs to be I'm gonna make it into a short unless you wanna make it into a short. The thing that
It's
you
yours.
said the thing that you said, I think that is absolutely brilliant. We need to make it like a motivational poster.
Right, right.
You know? I think when yeah, I am a variety show. That's right. Yes, I am. And, we kinda lost track of that for a little
I see
but
somebody in the comments that I recognize over from my side, Joshua Helland. I'll say what's up to them. I saw somebody, a little
yeah,
message go by there as somebody I recognize from my side of things. So what's up, Josh? What's up, Tara?
very cool. And is James on your side too? Because I don't know
I
James yet.
you know what, and so this is going to sound terrible. I recognize some names. I don't know all of my people, but
Okay,
James, if you're from my side, welcome. Hey,
that's so cool.
I
Yeah.
did put this up as a post, so I don't
Oh,
I
by cats
yeah.
for cats. Where the cats at? There we go. That's awesome. See, and this is the fun part of going live because you get to just talk to people, you know?
Sure,
And,
sure.
it would be really nice if we could hear you guys talk back, but I love that you're there in the chat and we can see you. Oh, wait, okay, I'm not gonna push anything. Let me tell you what, we did a practice live earlier. Oh, you guys are sending hearts, that is so cool. Um, we did a practice live and I pushed something on the phone and then it stopped the live. So, I cannot do that.
Right.
But thank you, Dave, and,
And
I
and
can
and
say
be
thank you.
and be honest, we didn't do one practice live. We did like six. We
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 did. We
we
did. Let me yeah. Mhm. Because everybody in the creator thing is saying to do this vertical live thing because now we're in the short speed, which is really cool, but it's not easy. Lex, I love that you're talking to your screen. Okay. Dave, what is POB? What am I? Also, I got a cough and I can't mute myself because I have. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm going to take a drink of tea. Okay, it's up to you. Pat on the back. Okay. I'm going to let you take it away for a minute
No
because I'm
worries,
going
no
to cough
worries.
now.
So I would love to hear from you too, as far as because I think you and I bring like an interesting perspective to this. I think most people out there who are giving tips and tricks on YouTube are like huge YouTube channels and might be a little bit intimidating for somebody to watch. I'm just curious as far as like your own channel and after you, or I can go first. Like I know what I would do with mine. I'm just curious, like if you could go back and change something, like what would you change with your channel? Because you know, I know everybody has these aspirations of becoming like this huge YouTuber, but you have to go through the step that you and I are at right now. Is like, you know, is this a success? I'll know in 2 years, but we kind of have to go through this phase
Right.
first to get to that next level. And I'm just curious, as two people who seem to be making it in this, what would there be one thing that you would go back and change about your channel if you could?
Honestly, I don't know at this point because it's so new, because I just started in March and I just put up my shower thoughts because I thought it would be fun, but I didn't think anyone would watch them. So, and then I just kind of panicked and like threw everything at the wall. So I think to just have relaxed more, that would be my only thing and just kind of take it more in stride. What about you?
Sure. I kind of like what you were saying about when you were giving your explanation of like, you know, that you have traditionally done like court stuff and that you're trying to go more towards a variety thing. I think that would be my thing is that rather than like, I feel like this niche of Amazon trucking that I kind of, I don't want to say pander to, but that I make content for is kind of like typecasting me into or preventing me from doing other stuff. I mean, I do regular trucking adventures too, and it's like I kind of I'll make content like that, but it's like people kind of pull me back to like, well, what about the Amazon? What about the Amazon? And I wish I had approached this from a more global thing as opposed to this microscopic little view that I feel like I've taken. Even though I mean, I can the only person limiting me from doing other content is me, so it's like it's all in here.
Right.
But
Ooh, what
yeah,
if you did like Amazon Tuesday or something? Like you picked a day and you said,
right,
"Okay, this is the day that I'm going to talk about this," and then they would know, like, that's the day they wanna tune in. That may be a thing. I don't know.
sure,
That's just something I'm
no,
thinking.
it's a great idea.
So, okay, we've got questions. But you can see them. I don't have to read them to you in the chat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
I
cool. They're
saw
all for
somebody
you.
wanted to know what's the longest I've ever driven. I came back from Arlington, Texas. That was the furthest I've gone. I hit Vegas a bunch, and out of San Diego, and then I hit Phoenix every once in a while. But yeah, it's I try to stay over here in my little bubble of the corner or bubble of the country, so because I'm familiar with the roads. I'm a night driver. I like driving at night. There's less cars on the road. I have not been a truck driver very long. I got my CDL in what was that? October of 2021. So yeah, it's not. I don't have like years and years of experience. My experience is doing something totally else.
Okay. And then, oh, have you ever seen anything weird or paranormal?
Ah, truck stops at night are fun. The yeah, just a bunch of stuff going on. There are a lot of. I mean, I've had people like knock on my door, and I just don't. I don't even mess with them. That type of stuff. But I feel like trucking has a lot of people who are there's a lot of pride and ego in trucking, and I feel like I don't have that. I'm the first person to be like, I'll go up to somebody and say like, "Hey, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing here. Do you mind being my eyes while I do this back and just let me know?" And that type of stuff. And for the most part, people have been super cool. There's been a handful of people that that kind of get off on the whole like, "Oh, you're a greenhorn. What do you have no business. Who are you working for?" And it's like, actually, I own the truck and that you have no business being out here. And it's like, cool, well, that's your opinion. Have a nice day. And but for the most part, people have been super cool,
Truck
super
stops at
cool.
night are fun. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, is there a law about picking up hitchhikers?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm not sure I would do that. I already have my passenger seat's got a bulldog in it, so he and if I put anybody in that truck, I've taken like some friends of mine out before that like my dad will want to go out and like go trucking with me, and he'll go out there. Took a friend of mine out a couple weeks ago, and Lou, my dog Lou, he was not having it. He almost attacked the guy when he came in. He almost jumped out of the truck. I mean, it was scary, but yeah,
Wow.
if I bring anybody into that truck, my dog's not having it.
Yeah, which is smart because you've also got a family at home who wants you to come
Right,
back.
right,
So,
right.
uh, yeah. What's your favorite thing to film?
Favorite thing to film. This is gonna sound super dorky, and it's not anything with my content, but I've always loved trains. Like as a kid, I have just like a fascination with trains. So my favorite thing to film would be like artistic little drone shots of trains. But uh, I'm a dork.
No, you're not,
I'm
because American Courts does drone filming. So,
okay.
yeah, and he said he would have started Discord earlier and started doing lives earlier and consistent uploading. Although you upload pretty consistently, I gotta say. So, yeah, but okay, yeah. But no, I think that's really cool. Trains. That would be really cool to do trains with a drone.
Sure, sure.
I
And
don't
I
think
do
that's
have
dorky.
I've been through a couple drones. In fact, I messed up my first drone filming a train of all things. I ran it right into a sign, and I made a short out of it, and it actually performed well on YouTube. So it was like, okay, well, hey, ruined the drone, got some views, there we go. But I've
There
upgraded
you go.
to another drone. I'd be sick if I broke this one.
Yeah, yeah. There's some amazing drone content out there. If anyone in the chat has a drone channel they could share, that would be awesome. Um, yeah, because it's pretty incredible what some of the things that you can do when you hook up, a 360 or whatever to it. Oh my
Sure,
gosh.
right.
So, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited to see you try that 360 idea with your dog.
Oh
You'd
my
be
gosh.
surprised. And I hope it takes off. I hope I hope that it's just. I mean, for me, it was like a pleasant little surprise. It was like people want this. Okay, cool. I don't want to say I leave them in the car all the time, but like I run into places all the time where I have to leave them alone, and it's like I mean, I could probably turn out 5 of these videos a night just from I have to go check in at this warehouse. He's going to be there for 4 minutes. I'll be back. I have that all the time. So
Yeah. Oh, I see a second channel in your future. I'm just saying.
great.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, you know, you never know. That could be that could be your oh my gosh, that's crazy. Alright, if you had to change careers again, what would you do?
Is that for me or for both of us?
That's oh, I don't know. Let's go with you first.
Okay, me first. I probably I'm so in love with trucking. I probably would just stay where I'm at. I mean, I was so kind of burnt out at what I was doing before, and I'm so grateful to be doing what I'm doing now. I mean, I couldn't imagine anything else. I know people will ask me, they'll be like, "Oh, do you want to scale your trucking business? Do you want to hire a driver? Do you want to do this?" And it's like, I don't. I just love driving. I just love being. I don't want to be responsible for other people. I don't want to have to manage other people and keep track of them. It's like I have no intention of scaling my business. I'm always going to be a one guy, one truck operation.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, because then you have full control. So,
Right.
that's nice.
What about
You're
you? What
lost
would
here came from Colin's life. Oh, okay. So let's tell you what's going on. Yeah, this is not a court thing. Okay, so I'm Jen. If we haven't met before, because I don't recognize your name. Good evening, Colin. Woohoo! All right, so this is Todd. He is from Stat Trucking. And okay, so and he has not gone live yet. He's had a channel for 2.5 years. And he and I were both chosen for the YouTube. Oh my gosh, we just got rated. You now have about almost 100 people watching you live. So, and so anyway, so he does trucking content. And so since we're both in this thing, we thought we would bring him on and let him go live for the first time so he can start going live. So Raiders, this is Todd. He was a. I'll let you. You tell your story to them because it's fascinating, and I don't need to have all the.
Yeah, I just see the number went up a bunch. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, was a pharmacist, did that for 20 years, worked in a drugstore all through high school. So like basically spent 30 years of my life working for a drugstore and decided one day I just want to be a trucker. And so bought a semi truck, got a CDL, and I've been doing it for about 2.5 years, started making YouTube content about it. It's been exceptionally rewarding. YouTube picked Jen and myself to be part of this creator community. That's how we met. And she invited me on here, and here I sit talking with her tonight, and that's kind of like it in a nutshell.
very cool. Oh, cross. Your husband just got their CDL. Awesome. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Oh yeah, Colin, you got a membership this evening, and I don't know how because you weren't here. That's so interesting, but I guess that's what worked. Oh, what's the name of your channel? Oh, can someone put the link? Dave, can you put the link for his channel in there? For him, or you can do it. I don't know if you can do it easily, Todd,
I
but
don't
if
know
not,
if
Dave,
I.
that's okay. That's why we have mods. It makes it real okay. Ooh, Patrick said, "Do you live stream your journeys?" And the answer is no. This is his first live, so
This
he's
is
yeah.
Yeah, this is my first live. I was kind of nervous to do it. Jen kind of helped me through it and everything, and I said I'd love to do it with you if you'll have me. So yeah, this is a new experience for me altogether. But lives are something I definitely want to like start embracing more, just because this kind of takes me out of my comfort zone, and I found that I've done well with stuff that takes me out of my comfort zone, and I'm comfortable right now. But yes, if it makes me a better person, I'll try it.
There you go. Well, and it's nice because you get to talk to everybody. So, so you're a free
So a
reformed drug dealer.
reformed drug dealer. Yep, yep. Those Oxy 80s, Yep.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's funny. Somebody just got a membership and they've never been here before and they have no idea why they're even here. That's awesome. Okay. But that's okay because then you can come back and what we do is so Dave that is giving out memberships happens to be my husband and my producer. And what we're going to do is the third Thursday, we're going to have members only chats where we go live with you guys and we're going to have some other giveaways that are bigger. So you're going to want to be here on the third Thursday. And this is so you guys were watching court. I do a lot of interviews. I had a big Judge Boyd interview that went crazy, which is how I got to know the court community. And so I do, we interviewed legislators and all the people. We're going to be doing that still, but we also interview all kinds of interesting people and just, because it's fun. I love to hear the backstory, like Paul Harvey's the rest of the story. That's kind of what I want to do. And so that's why, Oxy 80s. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's right. Oh, thank you for saying the Judge Fletcher interview was great. I gotta tell you, I'm sorry, Todd. I'm gonna talk to this just for 1 second
Sure. No,
because
no problem.
it was really interesting to interview Judge Fletcher. he was in his home. It was I don't know, it was a really interesting thing. I got to ask a lot of questions that people don't normally ask. So if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen the second Judge Boyd, um, maybe you let me know. Okay, yes, Aaron, we normally go with the horizontal things, but we wanted to try because in the creator community that we're part of, everyone says you got to go vertical because all these people will watch. I don't think that's true for my channel. Um, yeah, Aaron, I think that you're right, actually. Um, yes, I do remember Paul Harvey. I might even have a Paul Harvey channel on YouTube that I have not told anybody about yet. That's doing way better than this channel, but that's okay. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So, yeah, there is a channel. Yes. You could probably share it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we have a couple other channels that we hadn't shared yet, but I think it's time to just start talking about all the things. Why not? Anyway, yeah. So this is Todd, the pharmacist slash truck driver. Oh, Kimberly, thank you so much. I have worked on this room for 2 years, and finally Dave said I have to stop changing it. Yeah, so we're probably going to go vertical or whatever this next time, but we just have to. It does look a bit off. I know it's weird.
Your room looks fantastic. That was the first thing when we first met and we first were on a video call with one another. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm basic. I just have like a screen, and I mean, like I feel like this is like yours is like official. I need to up my game.
Okay, no, you're not basic because you guys, he's underselling it. So his videos are from his truck, which is number one, the ultimate sound studio, and number
Right.
two, the coolest backdrop. Like if I could cut off a piece of something really cool like that and bring it in here, I would. Okay. Oh yeah, you want to tell your story a little bit because these people are just
Over the road
here.
trucker
So
between how many states? I stay. I'm what you could call like either local or regional. I stay pretty much. I'm based out of San Diego. I stay most of my time in California. I will go to Nevada. I will go to Arizona, but I pretty much just stay in that little bubble of the country.
okay, you
I
want to tell your pharmacist to truck story again? Because yeah, they're
oh
new.
Oh, sure. New people. So yeah, yeah. Started working for a drugstore, 1991. It's like 13 years old. Had a work permit. Realized I want to be a pharmacist. Worked towards that. Did that. Became a pharmacist in 2004, and did that until 2022. I was a pharmacist up until 2022, and decided I've always wanted to start a trucking business. Love trucks from a young age. Listened to society and kind of did the school thing, get a degree, and I tried that. I just fell out of love with it, and I absolutely love trucking. I wake up every day. I feel like I'm living somebody else's life. It's just like I get to go ride around in a truck. I get to take my dog with me everywhere that I love, and I'm my own boss. And so it's just been, and I loved it so much. I decided, I have to make a YouTube channel about this. I'm passionate about it, and that's what I did. I started that like 2.5 years ago, and that's how Jen and I met, was through this creator community that we were chosen to be in. And it's been the whole thing's been a huge blessing to me.
Very cool. Okay, Cross has got a statement, but that may help. You may be able to help answer it.
My husband is trying to figure out if he wants to do local
Hey, Chris Barton.
truck and do his own thing. I would say,
Colette, that's funny.
so I do a ton of work, and like what my channel's focused on is like how to get in with Amazon. To work for Amazon, you have to have your own equipment, you have to have your own authority and everything like that. As far as like, I'm not well versed in like which trucking companies to go for, because you have to understand I skipped like, and I don't say this in a bragging way, but I skipped several steps of like, the experience of trucking, working for another company. I never did any of that. I took money that I had saved in pharmacy and I bought a semi truck with it. So I kind of was able to start out at the owner operator thing. But I didn't, I didn't, I don't have a lot of the experiential steps behind me because I kind of like skip those. I can tell you that if you do have your own equipment and you have your own authority, in my opinion, and I know the internet would probably disagree with me, I think Amazon is very fair to work for. They do have a lot of little things to do it, like a lot of little steps that you can get hung up on, but you definitely can. You definitely can make money hauling freight for Amazon.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
that's what people are asking if it pays decent.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, I don't want to like recreate all of my videos here, but they have. I mean, the things I've done for them in the past, they've had like what's called a trailer hostler position, where you take your equipment to their yard and you move trailers around their yard all night, and for like a 10-hour shift, they'll pay like $1,000. Biggest expense for me is fuel. So for me to go and drive my truck around a parking lot all night, I burn about 6 gallons of fuel, $5 a gallon. My cost is $30. It is my labor all night, but to be able to put in 10 hours of work, $30 worth of fuel, and to walk out with $1,000 feels like a win for me. Now, I'm leaving out some stuff. I mean, you got to do maintenance on the truck, you got to have insurance, buy plates for it, all that kind of stuff. But as far as like a day to day business thing, it's fair. And then as far as like their freight, like we just had Prime Day just happened at the end of July, and I mean it's like they have a normal trucking rate is most people are probably used to seeing things at like I don't know 250 a mile, that type of stuff like that. Most of what I do is paid for by the mile. They had deals going. I mean there was a San Diego to Vegas run that they had for like $2,700. It's like who's going to say no to that? 350 miles, 40 gallons of fuel going over there, and then get a load coming back, and it turns out all right. It's been it's a lot of what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years, and it's been great for me. But if you go onto the internet, I mean, and do this. I mean, vet what I'm saying to you. Go onto the internet and say, is Amazon good to haul for? And you're gonna find for every one person you're gonna find like me, you're probably gonna find 20 people saying, no, it's no good. Don't waste your time. So take all of it in. Don't let me be your one stop shop for that information. Definitely vet what I'm saying.
Very cool. All right, so people are asking, is that a lot of sitting when you drive truck?
It is, yes, and I'll tell you, a video idea I've been working on in my mind is, we wear these little. I don't have my watch on right now. We wear these little computers on our wrists that tell us like how far we walk and how many calories we burn, and we wear these things all the time. I can tell you that from going from being a pharmacist, which was all standing, there's no sitting, to going to being a trucker, I've gained like 30 pounds since then. And it is all, and it has been, I mean, typical pharmacy shift, 8 hours. In those 8 hours, I would walk somewhere between 5 and 7 miles per shift. That was just built into it. That's going to this shelf, getting this off the shelf, opening it up, counting it, putting that bottle back, rinse and repeat. Trucking is just, you're just sitting there all day. And so, yeah, I've kind of been doing a little fitness thing on my end just to try to because I see this decline and not really no decline in function, but I see the scale doesn't lie to me when I step on it each morning, and I see that number rising, and it's like, okay, I need to make a change. So I've been working on that. But yeah, huge difference as far as a job that you stand and a job that you sit. I'm a case study of one, but there's a big difference with that.
All right, and somebody asked earlier, or Alexa asked, what was your wife's response? I think it was Alexa when you said you wanted to buy a truck with your savings. They said they might have hit the
She
floor.
she was super supportive. I've been with the same
That's
girl
awesome.
since God 1997 we got together, and she has I only hope that I support her and her stuff as much as she supports me because she's been wonderful. She just, I
That is
mean, she
awesome.
knew she knew I was tired with pharmacy, and she's like, she supported me. And I think the bigger sell, she kind of came home to two things. One is, hey, I'm not going to be a pharmacist anymore. I'm going to try this trucking thing. And then the other was like, I might give YouTube a shot. And it's like, I think that was more what she was probably upset about than the truck. She's like, you're really going to try that? And yeah,
Yeah. You never know though. Yeah, I was just in a group today saying, that family, you'd be surprised. People would be surprised how little family, and I know your wife does support you with YouTube, but like how little family does sometimes support people.
great.
It's interesting because you have people that come here all the time and they watch and they're there when you're live and they do all these things, but your own family will not show up. And it's so bizarre to me. But we're about to go. So if anybody has a question at the last minute, definitely ask. Cross was saying your husband's tired of being a structural welder and being beat up with steel. Yeah, you know what? Look into trucking because apparently it's pretty good. And I really appreciate your transparency when people were asking about money because nobody answers for real. Nobody will
Sure.
say that. So that was a lot of good answers.
That's
Oh,
one thing
Alexa.
that I do on
Oh,
my
sorry.
channel. I do a lot of number reveals, and I don't do it in a bragging way. I say like, "Hey, look, we're going out tonight. There's nothing booked. Let's see what I can make this night turn into." Because I kind of come from the approach of like, "Look, I don't have all this
Oh,
trucking experience. Let's figure out how to drive a truck." And that's kind of the approach that I take.
that is so cool. Oh, I'm trying to thank you, Wixom. I was trying to post it or like put it up, but I can't do that, Dave. I don't know if you can or not. But that was so sweet. Thank you for the membership. So when you go live, there's things that people can do. They can buy memberships, they can gift memberships, they can pay for super chats and do all these different things. And it's just your viewers' way of saying that they like what you're doing, and it's very nice. And so that was very sweet. Thank you. Um, yeah, because we have memberships on the channel and we were thank you, Sharon. I wasn't really sure what we were doing for members before, but now it's been really good because they get the unedited version of an interview, which sometimes you just get the raw whatever stuff we're talking around in the background. And then now we're going to have our third Thursday chats with some prizes, which is going to be really nice. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. If you want to get a membership, you have to enable getting gifted memberships. That was the thing. Oh my gosh, remember on Colin's channel, we were trying to gift someone a gift membership, and I think everyone else got one because they just didn't have them accepting it. It was a whole thing. All right. Do what you love and never work a day in your life. That's exactly right. And Sharon, thank you for saying tonight was interesting. I thought it was going to be great. Todd is so interesting, and there was more that you shared that I did than I even knew before. So, yeah, thank you, everybody. Oh, Dave shared his channel, so hop over there, subscribe, check it out. There's dog content. I know you guys like court a lot, but you never know what you're going to find. And so, yeah, this has been amazing. Yeah, there we go.
And
Let's see.
Jen, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come on here and try this. This was my first live. It's been so enjoyable, and I appreciate you've been a wonderful host. I appreciate it
Oh,
so much.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And somebody said, do you do competent circle checks?
Do I do what?
Let's see. Colette's asking, do you do competent circle checks? It's really important. But I don't know what that is.
I'm not
Is
familiar
that a
with that.
truck?
I'm familiar with like a pre-trip check. I've never heard of a competent circle check though.
Oh, Kimmy, thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm okay, Colette. If you want to, and let's see, Wixom, loved your work in IT. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. You got to find what you really like to do. So, thank you everybody for saying you like the diversity. It is something that we're working on, and diversity in a lot of different ways. But yeah, we just need to have different people on here and let you guys get to know new people. And Todd, thank you so much for joining me
Thank you.
tonight. This has been amazing. Thank you, everybody. It is late, and I love you all. Get some sleep, and we will see you next time on Monday. Monday is going to be a surprise for all of us. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll talk to you then. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.